check, quick sound check. Can everybody hear us loud and clear? What's going on, Coach Paul? What's going on, Dre? What's going on, Hogue?
Hello.
Can hear you loud and clear, Coach Jay.
Loud and clear, and you know why we're here. It is an Nvidia watch party today, so thank you all for joining us. Hogue, Andre, what's going on, guys? How we doing?
Did somebody say party?
I mean, couldn't be late. Well, it's not going to be late. Wasn't going to miss this one. We'll see what we got in store here. We got close to all-time highs in power hour there in the ES. Will we get there?
We had a little poll in the chat. Are we going to make new all-time highs after the close from Nvidia? Of course, Nvidia reporting their earnings in just a little bit, trading $182 right now. But
that looks friendly to me.
Yes, it does.
I would say yes.
All-time highs in Nvidia, $184.48. Ho, you are long from well beneath $100, I do believe. A couple numbers we're looking for: earnings per share, estimated forecast $1.01, and revenues right around $46 billion. So
with a B.
With a B indeed.
Billion with a B. This is going to be a big one. And if you're wondering why we're doing this, we don't trade single stocks here at Topstep, right? We trade the futures, but Nvidia is 14.5% of the weighting of the NASDAQ. Number one weighted company, 7.6% of the S&P. So as Nvidia goes, the markets are going to go as well. So we will see what happens here. We're expecting the number to come out in about 7 minutes or so. We got financial juice up ready. So as soon as those come out, we will announce them to you and we'll see how the market responds from there. Hogue, you said you're just naked long into this. You're bought it at a good price. No reason to take it off.
Yeah, I think my average longs in Nvidia is right around $100.
Man, oh man!
Nice.
So we're gonna just hold into this. I'm hoping to hold on to these for my kids.
Hold them, don't fold them, Hogue. Hold them, don't fold them.
Appreciative. Well, I want to say thanks for letting us tag along here, fellas.
Oh, absolutely.
Coach Jay, greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man. Let's see what we got here.
Welcome, everyone, by the way, go ahead, Coach Paul.
No, go ahead. I was just going to go over what they're looking for. Their earnings per share is in a range of $46 billion.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye on that headline.
What are we expecting price-wise? I think it's $11 is the last I saw. Expected move, $11 either to the upside or the downside. So that would put us above all-time highs if it was all to the upside. But like Jack said earlier today, we can kind of assume what's going to happen. It's going to spike up and then spike down, or spike down and then spike up. But really, we'll see tomorrow, once that volume comes in, whether that move sustains or not. But yeah, not very far off of all-time highs here. This is your first time here. Welcome to At the Buzzer, our market recap. Coach Paul and I do this every single day, going over what happened in the markets for the day. Of course, today's special occasion, we got Hogue and Andre joining us for Nvidia earnings. We'll do our normal show after those numbers come out. But let's just take a real quick look at what our top percentage movers were on the day today. We had, to the downside, we had corn down 0.85%, wheat down 1.32%, soybean meal down 1.57%. Upside, we had micro Bitcoin up 0.76%, crude up 0.95%, and natural gas up 2.9%. The S&P today was up 0.19%, the NASDAQ up 0.12%, but that is soon to change. S&P, a lot closer to all-time highs than the NASDAQ, 8% off the all-time high. Sorry, 8 points off the all-time high. Can
we get there? Can we get there? I think we will. A couple questions I know the analysts want answered coming into this earnings because the earnings call will be about 40 minutes after the release. A couple questions they want answered. How are current generation of chips doing with Nvidia, as well as what's the state of the company's business in China with the China chip? Yeah. And also China's trying to perhaps squeeze them a little bit. Also have the deal with the United States government. 15% of every China chip sold goes back to Uncle Sam. So those are the two questions, of course, guidance as well. I think JD said something like a 50% increase year over year. Which is insane. Absolutely
it's insane.
So those are the couple things we want.
Andre, do you know, somebody had asked in the chat earlier today, that 15%, that's going to the government. Where is that money being spent? Do we know? Has it been said at all?
What? What do you mean? Where is it being spent?
Where are we spending it? Are we paying down debt? What are we doing?
Put it underneath the mattress. They're putting that underneath the mattress for a rainy day. It's going to the rainy day fund, Jay.
Yes. It's going to buy government bonds,
That's
I
a
believe.
hell of a question, Jay. That's a
Not coming to us?
Yeah.
A savings bond.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like
just in
we
case.
we don't have a little bit of debt we could pay off with it.
Just
That's a good answer. That is a good answer indeed.
And what's 36 trillion among friends?
I'll take a couple. All right, here we go. 2.5 minutes. Let's see.
2.5 minutes. A lot. You know, to get from this, right? How did tariffs affect their business? You know, Dre, you said the China chip, which I think they said there were some delays or something on that.
There is.
There's a lot going on here. A lot going on, and we will be ready for the market move. Nvidia right now, pretty much unchanged, down 0.09%, traded 192 million shares today.
Incredible.
See if we can pull up that options chain. Jack was talking about the options earlier. Pull up this options chain really quick. 5,000 or 5,200 contracts traded on the call side at 185. Actually, that was, oh, hold on. Scratch that. 83,000 traded at $180 today.
What's trading above? How much is trading above there? Like we're talking 190s,
190s. 190s, we got 84,000 traded at 190s, 50,000 traded at 192s. Downside, we got 81,000 traded at 170s. Oh, Dakota was trading some of those.
What's the projected range in the
$11.
straddle, you know?
$11. Yep.
$11.
If you get $11 higher, is that the all-time high?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see. Furthest out where we're seeing some volume, we got 22,000 contracts traded at $220. 22,000 contracts traded at $220. Go ahead, Hogue.
Reading an article earlier this week, like Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, all the big banks are projecting Nvidia to probably the next upside stop at between 220 and 240.
Wow.
Let's do that today.
I was gonna say that's music to your ears, Hope. I mean, that's music to your kids' ears. That's exactly what your kids want to hear.
You got 30 seconds on this number. Here you go, Dre.
Skin in the game.
One more on that options chain.
Game.
Yeah.
122,000 contracts traded at $200 even on the call side.
Okay. Bullish.
So, yeah. Let's see what happens here. Again, $11 expected move. Nvidia earnings should be out in about 10 seconds here. We're going to take a look at what happens with the Nvidia price, and then we'll take a look at the, I'm going to go down to a 1 minute chart here.
Let's go. You're ready. You got an all-time high 65.08 half in the ES.
All right. Well,
Oh,
we're waiting.
Well,
Well,
we're waiting.
Don't they know we're having a party?
Yeah,
Nvidia pushing
right?
up to the upside just a little bit
Where
here.
you at? Look how thin the ladder is. Look at that.
NASDAQ, yeah, it probably just cleared out. Nvidia is pushing up here,
There we
183.
go. Whoa. New all-time. Oh, not yet. There we go. Pop.
Nothing yet. I'm refreshing.
Yeah.
Someone knows something.
refresh harder.
Uh-huh. Huh.
It's kind of like pushing the.
What
We
is it?
had.
Not air horns just yet.
Nothing yet.
And it's probably just shorts covering.
Oh,
Whoa.
big drop there.
Yep.
179 net last trade in Nvidia. The numbers must have just come out. Still
Fell
refreshing,
off.
nothing yet. Yeah, we're down $9 here in Nvidia in the last minute or so.
Really?
New
Yeah, last trade in
lows.
Nvidia, $176 here, $175.
Yeah,
S&P
no,
selling off
that-
as well.
Wow. Okay, here we go.
Did those numbers come out yet? Not seeing them.
I feel like we see this every
Okay,
other
here we
video.
I'm
go.
looking
Here
on
we
a
go.
couple of different sites, not seeing them yet.
What do you got?
I got him, Hogue. Revenue came in at 46.7 billion. Estimate was 46.23, so a little bit better than expected. Earnings per share adjusted came in at $1.05. Estimate was $1.01. So pretty much in line, a little bit better than expected, and we're seeing that market reaction to it so far. Nvidia down about $10 in the last 2 minutes. But we'll see. These aren't bad numbers, just maybe not as maybe the street was expecting a beat, better beat than that. But pretty much in line with expectations right now.
It's extremely low liquidity. That's what we're seeing right here. Extremely low liquidity is what's pushing this down. You look at the volume. We're not seeing a whole lot of volume behind this.
Right.
Very absence of bids, I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Right. We're going to get more information, right? Like you said, Dre, the earnings call is coming out in about 40 minutes or so. So if you guys do want to tune into that, you can find it on the Nvidia site. But they're going to give forward guidance and all those other things that we expect to hear from these earnings. But initial reaction, a little bit of a move to the downside here. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ trading off the highs, 23,494 last trade here in the NASDAQ, down about 200 points on that Nvidia print as well. John Ross says it. Watch Nvidia go red to green tomorrow. Probably.
Buy the dip.
Right.
Buy the dip.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Buy
to
the
see.
dip. What do you got, Dre?
May 28th. I'm looking at what happened. May 28th was last Nvidia earnings. I believe we see that. We see it sell off. There's 200 lot in the yes. We see it sell off on the release of Nvidia earnings. I believe that's the pattern that we've seen. I'll go back and try to find that. May 28th, but let's see if that is the same here. How we trade? No all-time highs just yet.
No all-time highs just yet. Yeah, so I'm looking at that. I got
Wait
the
a minute.
video chart here, Dre. So May 28th, if that was the last one, we had 2 days of a sell-off, and then
There you go.
we continued to rally from there. So, and those were pretty good numbers the last time as well. So you will see pretty big pullback here so far. Go ahead, Hogue.
Give us a chance to buy more.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I know what you're thinking here.
it's not going anywhere.
No.
Right? Not going anywhere. But interesting market reaction. What did the S&P do there? I was looking for all-time highs. I had
new lows too.
Probably the most even poll I've seen in the chat. Does Nvidia bring us to all-time highs after, during slow markets? It's pretty much 50-50. Off of this initial reaction, doesn't look like it, but there's still a lot of time left in the trade.
Yeah, what's Nvidia trading?
174 last trade I saw. 174.30 right now. Right before the close, it was 180. It is a sale. 181 was the trade at the close. There we go. We got Nvidia numbers. Let me refresh to see if we got any other information.
What's coming out? Data center revenues missed. Yeah, they're going to pick apart little things just for reasons to perhaps
Of course.
sell it. But again,
Everybody's aiming for you at the top.
could be some profit taking up here as well. But I think a lot of this is, we saw this on May 28th as well. And there's your buy the dip.
Buy the dip. It touched the 200 moving average on the half hour.
In Nvidia?
NASDAQ.
Oh, NASDAQ.
In
Gotcha.
NASDAQ.
Gotcha.
Around it.
Good spot to look for potential opportunity there. Did we get that 11% move? $11 move. I guess we did spike up to 183 there, down to 174. So not exactly. Chat, I'm curious because I know we got them. You're a DGen and you traded this with some 0 DTEs. Put a 1 in the chat. You don't have to say what your position was. This is a party. We know crazy things happen at parties sometimes. But if you were a DGen, traded this with some 0 DTEs, just put a 1 in the chat.
This call's not doing so well.
No, they're not. Unless they were selling them.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota's in there laughing. Those 200 calls, right? Maybe they were.
There you are, Dakota.
Yeah. Whoever was selling them, I guess, right?
Yep.
Got a couple ones in the chat.
You want to talk about slippage? What's that NASDAQ ladder look like? Is it still? Oh yeah. I mean, that is untradeable.
Extremely
untradeable.
What's the spread right now, Dre?
Oh hell, let's call it 8 ticks, 10 ticks.
8 ticks.
If you want to call it, it's vaporized. There is.
Yeah, and on that number, it was probably a 20
we
tick
go.
We get the question all the time, hey, why can't we trade this? You could. I have a personal account. I could trade this. I was flat there. No
Risk
trade for me.
Let you trade that.
Risk is not letting that happen.
Risk isn't gonna let that.
Yeah. No H20 sales to China-based customers in Q2.
One more time.
Nvidia says no H20 sales, which I think is that China chip. No H20 sales to China-based customers in the second quarter.
So that kind of was expected, wasn't
I
it?
believe I saw that was. Okay.
Yep. All right, so we got some more numbers here. We got gaming revenue up 4.3 billion. Estimate was 3.8. Someone said in the chat, data center revenues were down. Nvidia has not assumed any H2 shipments to China in its outlook.
Okay.
These Q3 adjusted operating expenses about 4.2 billion to 5.9 billion. So expenses going up, expected revenue going up as well. So we'll see. Again, a lot more is going to come out during that call. We're seeing a little bit of a bounce here in Nvidia price as well, off that low, trading 176 right now. And unless you were getting in right at that $180 level, this is just a quick knee-jerk reaction. But this is a market and a stock that has continued to just grind up, make all-time highs. Hogue, how you feeling over there?
Let's see the range here. Yeah.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm not worried about it.
Hogue's vibing. It's still long.
Yep.
So that ES range that came out, 50 points. 50 points. Trading 65.05. Bottomed out. Well, call it 40 points. Bottomed out at 64.59. Take a look at the ES. Oh, we're talking 250, give or take, about 220 points range of the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And
14 tick spread right now.
Yep.
People ask from our audience and some of the people I've dealt with about why can't we trade this? And I'm going to ask Hogue, who used to be a floor broker in the S&P. We used to call it unenjoyment Fridays in bonds. Why do you not want to trade this from your experience?
Well, when you look at the dome in the NASDAQ, and the dome is 10, 20 ticks apart between the bid and the offer. Picture that in the pit, but with 5 or 10 handles between bids or offers. And then you're looking at $25 a tick, 10 ticks per handle, 100 ticks apart or 40 ticks apart, whatever it is. You can just get run over faster than you can say anything. I mean, even as a filling broker, you knew you were going to be busy. Your hands were cold, your feet were cold, because your body is taking all of the oxygenated blood and bringing it to your major muscle groups and your major organs, because you're going to get into a fight. It's just the only people that really cleaned up during these periods of time were the locals that were big enough to take the entire package. So you've got 300 to sell, and you're pushing price, you're offering price lower, 4 evens, O evens, lower halves, lower evens, lower halves, lower evens, lower halves, lower evens, until somebody says, buy them. And when they take them all, they're getting that entire package. They're taking all that selling power away from the marketplace. And then they may be able to profit. If they've bought the low, they can take the move to the upside. It's just a small trader has no business doing this. You can trade it, but because you can doesn't mean you should. As a trader for 40 years almost, Paul, you too. I'm sure you've taken some positions into some major economic releases into situations like this, and you've probably had some really good days and some really bad days. If I add up the wins and losses of all those days, I'm about even. So now I don't even play. I'll look for opportunities that I can kind of calculate. Right? How do you calculate risk on something like this?
You can't, because what is the bottom line in trading is survival.
Yeah.
Survival.
And
I got a question for you guys.
Whipsaw like this, it's hard to survive.
You can't get out. You can't get out of trading electronic. There's nowhere to get out.
So
Algo's going to swipe it from you.
We call this a zero-sum game all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
And we're talking about smaller traders maybe not trading in this because you can't manage your risk. Someone just made some money on this. Who do we assume it is? Is it all the option sellers?
Could collected per
Who
head.
just made money on this? Someone did.
Market makers.
Market makers. There's that
Market makers.
64.40. It hasn't got hit. There's been a 4 hard lot on the ES sitting on the bid. 64.40 for all week. And they've just been chilling.
Just sitting out there.
Brokers. Yeah, brokers, market makers. they're definitely getting theirs. Besides that, yes, let it digest, right? Let this digest and see what happens tomorrow. Speaking of which, we do have some earnings tomorrow. Jay, will you be on opening call tomorrow?
I am. Yeah, I'm on opening call. What do we got tomorrow?
Oh, what do we got? We have some retail. We got Best Buy, Dollar General, TD Ameritrade, Dick's, and then after the bell, Dell, Ulta. So we got more earnings. Gap after the bell. So we still got more, but this is the Super Bowl. How about it?
Yeah. Until the next time, right? We got another quarter to wait. We'll have another one of these. We did see it bounce off the lows, right? Low in that move in Nvidia, $171. Back up at 176. You know, volatility, like we've been saying, low liquidity, not a lot of volume trading during this time. Not a lot of volume can trade at this time, but we'll see how the market responds to this when we open up in just a couple hours here. We do have that Globex open. You know, Dakota's going to be on for slow markets, and we'll see how the markets respond. Nvidia does have that call coming out in about a half an hour from now, so we'll get some more information here. But yeah, this was a good one.
It was a good one. Look at that size. Look at that. Look at that volatility. We get all-time highs on the reopen. I don't see why not at this point. Got Nasdaq still has some work to do. Got 24,000, 068, the all-time highs up there. But well, fellas, thanks for letting us jump on here. By the way, click like, click subscribe. 179,000 subscribers.
That's big, Dre.
Pumping here. Yeah, hey.
S&P didn't hit all-time highs, but we hit all-time highs in our subscriber numbers. So we appreciate you all joining.
Oh, well done.
Market.
Well done.
Almost hit all-time highs in the S&Ps, but almost isn't done.
Almost isn't done.
Or
We're close.
Grenades. Or shoot
tomorrow.
Grenades. Yeah. Let you guys take back your show, but thanks for letting us jump on. We appreciate it. So you guys stay. You guys hang out and stay here.
Thanks for hanging out.
Paul, Jay, thanks a lot, man. Look at that. There's your Super Bowl earnings. We got the volatility. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Awesome
thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Make sure you guys
TopstepTV,
join
let's
us
go.
next quarter later, Dre. Make sure you guys join us next quarter. We'll be here to report it, maybe with some new guests, maybe with some of the same guests. But let me get these guys out of here so they can go on with their day. Dre, Hogue, thank you guys.
Thanks, man. That was good stuff.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, Coach Paul.
Yes.
Let me transition Hogue out of here. There we go. Wow, a lot going on there. Quick little sell-off. Then brought it back up. Yeah, it was. I saw somebody say we need Andre's energy on at the buzzer all the time. So Dre, if you're listening, next watch party, I'm signing you up. You're the MC. You are the MC. But thank you guys all for joining. Again, special edition of At the Buzzer today. We had Hogue and Andre join us for Nvidia earnings that just came out. Looks like they were pretty much in line with expectations. We saw a quick market response to that, quick little sell-off, buying it back up here. And if you're wondering why we do this, it's because Nvidia is 14.5% of the weighting in the NASDAQ, number one company there, 7.6% of the S&P, number one company there as well. So as Nvidia goes, these markets are going to go as well. But let's get into it, Coach Paul.
Let's go.
Andre is the life of the party, the blood flow of TopstepTV. Player, I definitely agree with you there. All right, let's get into it. We got Nvidia out of the way at the buzzer time. We're doing a little market recap here. As far as news goes, there wasn't really much on the calendar. We had some Fed speakers earlier. We had, it was a pretty quiet calendar outside of that. Of course, everybody was waiting for Nvidia earnings, and the market kind of looked like it was waiting for it as well, Coach Paul.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just jump right into the charts here. So let's go to the NASDAQ chart. So kind of the day we expected with a lot of chop, a lot of overlap. How'd you trade today, Coach Paul?
I traded small. Scalped a few Rusty and some S&P. Made it a couple shekels, but the biggest trade I had was in the euro currency overnight. We'll go over that a little later. But equities were pretty tame. We see that daily candle with wicks on both sides, coming right back to nearly unchanged.
Yep.
But still, upside is the trend is still up, and it appears there's nothing here that would change that in the way I see it. How about you, Coach?
Trend is still up. You know, the wicks on both sides of this daily candle are pretty much from that Nvidia move, right? Where we were just pretty consolidated. Like you said, traded small. I traded pretty small today as well. Just not trying to get chopped up in that range. We can go down to a shorter time frame really quick, and we can see. Uh, Here is, let's look at the first half an hour from last night. Last night we had a decent short,
Right.
but we came down to a level that we look at all the time, Coach Paul. The
And what
200
level is
moving,
that?
the white line here, the white line here for all of our new viewers who haven't joined us before. These 200 moving average on the 30-minute chart. You might hear me talk about it during the opening call with Hogue. I got to give Coach Paul all the kudos for using that level. But we can see how many times we bounce off of it. And when we take a look at the S&P chart, I'm pretty sure the S&P tagged it to the tick and bounced off of it. But that 200 moving average, Coach Paul, we've been above it for a couple of days. We just tagged it in that Nvidia candle as well. So I'm going to be watching that level as we go forward. Let's take a quick look at the S&P. Didn't get down there. Interesting.
Well,
Interesting.
the weighting of Nvidia is not like Nasdaq. Was it 14%? Did you say? Did I hear
14,
that
yeah,
right?
14.5%. 14.5%. Dolby had given us some stats on the S&P, and the heaviest weighting ever that we've had in the S&P was 8% in 2024. And of course, that was Nvidia as well. So that's a lot. That is a lot.
So that can explain why that difference between the S&P and the Nasdaq. But we've really calmed down here. We had a nice break last night, but it was bought up on the opening.
It was a nice call by my guy Dakota, calling the low. I'm curious to know. I mean, I know Dakota's trading strategy, but he had an interesting level here. I'm going to put a monthly VWAP on the chart, and I don't know if Dakota started using monthly VWAPs, but he called that 490 low pretty much to the tick in the Nasdaq. That's that gold line that you see on my chart here, or orange, whatever color that is. And a nice buy there. We had Braden with a short into this level. Dakota getting long 490, said that's going to be the low for the day, and it pretty much was. So nice trade there, Dakota, right off of that monthly VWAP, and it held. Went right back up into the range, Coach Paul, and yeah, interesting day here.
Yeah. Like we're looking at that daily, there's nothing here
Yeah,
that in the present, by the way. This is not in trading or investment advice. We're reviewing, but I mean, it was a balanced day. There was nothing in this report that shows that Nvidia is suffering. Only 46 billion for the quarter, and
only.
expecting
Only.
56 in Q3.
Sounds like they're
Wow,
doing
that's
okay.
a bill. It's almost $1 billion a day in revenue.
Yeah, I think Jack at one point was saying, Nvidia just earned, like in revenue, just earned a different company, right? Like their
Yeah.
valuation of an entire company by the day, which is no, it doesn't sound healthy, but hey, everyone's retirement accounts look good, right? So we don't worry about it until there's something to worry about, I guess. Um, Yeah, really bullish here. Anything else you got on the equities, Coach Paul? Again, nothing has really changed here. Still pretty much
Yep.
a bull flag that I'm seeing on the daily. Uh, and I guess now we just wait for the next catalyst to potentially bring us to all-time highs.
Well, it's interesting. Let's look at my old friend Rusty versus Nasdaq. We talked about the catch-up game.
Yep,
It's catching up.
it is catching up for
I'm
sure.
gonna
Also,
call
real
this.
quick, I mean, we do see a little bit of a reaction in the Russell as well. But on that daily, Coach Paul, what are you seeing here?
The Heinz trade. It's catching up to the other indices. Um, Interesting today. 10-year had a decent rally and not big news. And the Russell, being affected by interest rates, followed suit. Um, so uh, I think it looks like it's going to continue to outpace the Nasdaq for now.
Yes, it does. Russell making new highs on the year, I believe that is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a new high on the year for the Russell. Has a lot of room to play catch up, right? We're still about 8% off the all-time high there. I don't know how many traders that we have in the chat that are trading it. And again, shout out to all the new traders. If this is your first time watching At the Buzzer, do me a favor, put it in the chat. Where are you watching from? Just curious. We got
Yes.
1,200 people watching right now. I had about 1,500 during the Nvidia watch party. Where are you guys all watching from? Let us know. But the Russell new highs on the year, Coach Paul. We don't have many traders that trade it. It was a roundabout way to kind of get there, but here we are, getting ready to test that 2,400 level potentially. Who do we got? We got New Jersey in the house, UK, Texas, Aspen, Colorado, Canada, Lansing,
Lansing,
Michigan,
Michigan,
Norway, York, Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn. Rich and Bedside, you are
Abu
not
Dhabi,
new. Abu Dhabi,
Czech Republic. Welcome, Switzerland,
home of golf,
Saudi
Pinehurst, North
Arabia,
Carolina, Naples.
Texas,
Got my
Rocky
first payout
Mountains.
today for James
Yeah.
Clark.
Good job, James Clark.
James is watching from the bank, straight to the bank. Good job, James. Estonia, Boomer
Mars.
Brian.
We got some Martians watching. Well,
Chicago. Well, welcome to everyone.
wherever you're at, hit that like button. It's about the only time you'll hear it on this broadcast. We don't pound you on this, but go ahead and hit that like button.
Like button for sure. Thanks. Good to see traders from all around the world. And
Hey, I'm in
owned, or
Cleveland.
we got another first payout here. Got another first payout. We got Thailand in the house. Good stuff. Good stuff. Glad to hear everyone
UK,
is trading
Italy,
well
Kansas. Wow.
all around the
Well, that was
world.
fun.
That was fun. All right. So anything else you got on the equities, Coach Paul?
No, that's about it for the equities. You know what? One other thing in the equities, there's only 2 trading days left
In the month.
in the month. So, something to be aware of. Can we pick up some momentum to the upside, or do we get some profit taking? Keep that in mind while you're trading.
Interesting. Interesting. 2 days left in the month. We tagged that monthly view up. So on the month, we're still equity's still positive on the month. Interesting. 2 days left. 2 days left. All right, let's take a look at gold. What are we seeing on this daily chart in gold, Coach Paul?
Well, it's picking up momentum. But where is that level? Did we break that? No, we haven't broke the trend line. Let's get that trend line from the all-time highs. A nice move, but it's got some work to do. We've got excited before on these rallies. But here, look at that volume. Daily volume is still below the average. So there's not big participation in today's buying. We're still in the range. What do you see?
Still in the range. So this is kind of the move we expected in gold, right? We talked about, being under that 20 and 50 moving average. And, what has the market done pretty much all year is trend up. We are still seeing higher lows on this daily chart, where we have that trend line. You could maybe draw it here. Maybe you could draw another one here, but we are making higher lows, right? We'll take this one off. We're still kind of in this Dolby Dorito pattern. My question is, what we've really been seeing is, we haven't closed above this trend line, but we have these equal highs here, up here at 35.20.
How many times we touched that? We counted that one time. It's like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many times does someone knock before you let them in? And in this case, We're trying to get into the gold vault and find new all-time highs. Because if we break these equal highs up here, all-time highs very soon afterwards. But it's been a level of rejection. But for the daytime frame, right, and what we saw today, gold is did exactly what we've kind of been expecting it to do. Now, does that mean it was an easy trade? Let's take a look at last night's open in gold. And if you're a new viewer, Coach Paul and I like to do is look at the first 30 minutes of the Globex Open and kind of set our parameters from there. But what are you looking at here on this 30-minute chart, Coach Paul?
Let's frame it out. And
That first 30, but we can see where the volume really came in.
Shanghai. Do we have any listeners in Shanghai? You might be sleeping, but look what happened when the Shanghai exchange opened up. I mean, just
So
I
this
actually I only watch it now on that opening. It's so important, and that set the tone. Now, are we back to Asian buying?
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like here. That's kind of what it looks like. This is 8 p.m. Eastern time last night, so a little bit before that Shanghai Open, because that's 9 p.m. But I think this might have been. I think this is the Tokyo Open. Either way, 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern are great times to look for that volume to come into gold. Coach Paul, like you said, is Asia buying again? We saw a little bit of a break earlier in the year where they were kind of selling it during the Asia session and then buying it during New York. Today they bought it during Asia, bought it during London, continued. Am I looking at the wrong? Here is last night's open. Here you go, Jay. Sorry, I took my glasses off and this light is now blinding me. Here's last night's open, Coach Paul. This was the day prior.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't watching gold today. Wow, nice. Well, who bought it then?
Yeah.
It wasn't Asia.
Same prices here.
But interesting, we came back to the top of that candle of that big buying where we found support, and we're finding support and curling higher. Looks very friendly to me. Now, at what point today did we get did we get a J trade? No, we didn't get one off the low. But actually, we traded both sides. It was a nice sell after the opening last night.
Yep.
So I guess we'll have to take back all our Asian buyers.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. They bought it last night. But looks like they're continuing to buy at that price. My bad, Chad. I had the wrong time frame there. But we did have a nice pullback into that high and found some buyers there. So really nice continuation in gold. Go ahead, Coach Paul.
Maria Foster's asking, Jay, what are your settings on the chart?
So right now I'm looking at a 30-minute chart. These moving averages, the yellow line is a 20 moving average. The purple one is a 50. The white one is a 200. And then I saw you ask about the drawing tool that I'm using here. This is just a fib tool. You can use a rectangle if you want as well. And all I'm looking at is the high, low, and 50% of any of these high volume candles that we're marking out. So this one here is the Globex session open. So right when the markets open up again, we usually mark that out. And then any kind of high volume candles that we'll have, we mark those out as well.
Yeah. So, well, it was a nice break, good opportunity to sell, but boy, did it, as soon as was that a 2-to-1 on the half hour
To the downside?
trade? Yeah, I think so.
I think so, right? So what trade we're talking about here is we have this Globex session open, that first 30 minutes, that volume comes in. Here you go, Coach Paul. Here's the Shanghai Open. And let's say we take this short on the break of Shanghai, that first 30 minutes. What would you set your risk to here, Coach Paul?
2 ATRs on a half hour.
2 ATRs on the half an hour, which is 8.6 points here. So do you get a 2-to-1? No, you don't, but you do get a 1-to-1. You got a 1.25 to 1 at those lows, which is a pretty nice trade. and that's with it on the 30-minute chart, right? You could also just set your risk right below this, right above this high. It's a tighter trade, maybe lower probability, but I'd call that a pretty good trade, Coach Paul. I'm taking something off if I get to 1-to-1.
Well, here's we talk about this. In the only certainty we have in trading is uncertainty. So much like a good poker player, you got to put an ante in. You have to put some skin in the game, but you get new information on every every half an hour as we go forward. So if I'm sitting there waiting for a 2-to-1, which is my preference, am I seeing something that's changing that gives me new information? Well, when we get to this level, we trade there how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we get on that low, we get a little bit of a J trade off that low with higher. That was the highest volume of the night, actually, wasn't it?
Which one are you looking at here? This one here?
Yeah, that one there.
Yep. Highest volume.
Okay.
This is at 5:30 Central Time.
So we get highest volume selling into new lows. That is for our new viewers. We dub that. I've dubbed it, and it's become known to our group as the J trade. What does that mean?
Uh,
Selling exhaustion, and I'm going to hand it to you, Coach Jay, because you've turned me on in it. I give you lots of thanks.
I was just answering your question. It means that we found the last seller or somewhere close to the last seller, right? That high volume at the low. We know that, and how do we know it's the low? Not when it prints, right? But we're waiting to see how the market responds to it. But we get high volume at this low, and we get no continuation, right? So once we close above that, and we can take a look at it on a shorter time frame because it might show a more clean trade. But even on a 30-minute, once we close above this here, that's the trade we're looking for now. On this 30-minute, we're closing pretty high above, right? We're 3 points above here, so it's a lot more risk. But on 2 ATRs, Coach Paul, your suggestion, let's say we waited for this candle close up here, buy it, and we risk 2 ATRs, which would have been 9 points at this point. Here's your risk. That might sound like a lot, but you could also trade micros. You could always trade micros. And we get our 2-to-1. So it's a trade that we look for all the time. I wish I took them as much as we see them happen, but it's a trade we look for all the time. Wait for that high volume, wait for the close, and take the trade in the direction that the market goes. And in this case, you got a pretty nice trade here, a 2-to-1 on a high time frame.
Well, here's another thing. We see that at that time when we made that low, we were just framed out. Now let's think about it. It's the highest volume. It's selling. It's into the lows of the day, and look at the size of the candle. Now,
Yeah,
what happened inside that candle? It was
sellers met
absorbed.
buyers.
Yeah, it was absorbed. Once we got over that, but what I find even more interesting is we found right after that we found more selling high volume, and it didn't make a new low.
Yep, this one here.
And look, that was it. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't drive it to a new low. He who sells and doesn't get any reaction, yeah, they were stuck. It was a classic. Now, what I expect, I mean, there was, like you said, a 2-to-1. Actually, it was probably 3 or 4-to-1. Um, but if you got long there, it's up to you. On day trading, we're day traders. I'd like to cash in a 2-to-1 risk reward. But nice move.
Yeah, this was a great. Anyone in the chat catch the gold longs or any part of gold today? Because it was a decent short last night. Anyone catch any of the movement in gold today? And it's not surprising that we're seeing, or I'm not surprised that we see some trending movement in gold while the equities kind of chopped around. Looks like the money came into gold. So curious to know if anyone caught it. It looks like Doug Johnson in the chat was looking at this 34.30 area to kind of buy as well. And if you could do it with proper risk, player says I shorted it. Where'd you short it? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Could have made money on both sides today. Big boy caught that Nvidia short. Nice. Johnson says, "Holy crap! What happened, Doug? Right? Thing good." Gold
Oh,
is
look
still
at,
making new highs as we speak.
yeah, as we speak. Oh, is this short? My immediate feeling is that we're starting to get short covering.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
so especially
And
with that volume twice, at that look at all that that range in there was mostly selling.
couldn't
You
get
know,
price to go lower.
it was like a dam there.
And if you shorted this, right? Were you wrong on the direction of the market? If you shorted after this down move, you were. Is that going to happen sometimes? It is. Should it cost you your account? It shouldn't. You know, if you were short, ask yourself when you journal, would I take that trade again? And if I did take it, where did I admit I was wrong on this? Because if you didn't admit you were wrong, then yeah, you might be in the chat asking for a free reset. But if you can just accept the loss on this trade, then you know you don't have to take this entire $18 loss in gold. And that's why we talk about managing risk, right? Manage your risk most importantly. And you know, anytime you're wrong, because Coach Paul, how often are you wrong?
More than half the time.
Same, same.
Man, but going into that, I don't, love your losers. What does that mean? Cut your losses, let your winners ride, like we just talked about. I look for 2-to-1 trades over a longer time frame. When you do that, you have a pretty good chance of being successful. That's where I've come to. That's what I'm comfortable. It fits my personality. But yeah, we talk about this all the time. If you haven't read the book Best Loser Wins, I highly recommend it. It's not about purposely trying to lose. It's about losing better. Most of our focus is always, how can I make the perfect trade? I In
Man,
all
if I
my
could tell
years,
you.
I think I've had 2 perfect trades.
Yeah, I mean, use your imagination. To me, what does a perfect trade look like? However much leverage I'm allowed to use in my account, I take a trade and it doesn't trade one tick below my entry. Uh, and then we just rally for the rest of my life. That's the perfect trade. But I might be wishing for a lot there, Coach Paul. So
Wow,
I got to
that
manage my
gold,
risk.
at the end of the day, if you it's what we are.
Right.
What are we trading? And what are we managing? We're managing the equity in our accounts. Without that, you can't be in the game. All right. What's next? Crude.
I just realized I'm talking on mute. Anything else you got on gold? We want to move over to crude.
What did you say? Huh?
This thing on.
Yeah.
Uh,
That was
doing a
another.
lot of talking today. What do we got here on the daily?
We got halfway into yesterday's candle, and then we failed again. We're still clinging to that 200 moving average, but there's no look at the volume. Less than average for last week. So, but still, it's giving some good opportunities in a day time frame. Let's look. Last night we had a pretty big break.
Mark off that 200 moving average really quick. On the daily, 63.41 is that price. Why did I just make this volume indicator so big? Let's take a look at the 30-minute last night. Last night's open. Make sure I got the right date.
That
There we go. Here's last night's open.
All right. We had a nice break last night, but we measure it once again. Asia did what it usually does in crude because this is West Texas Intermediate crude, U.S. crude. Um, doesn't have that much effect in the Asian time frame. So, but if we had continuation from yesterday's break. Um, but once again, here we go. Look what happens like gold. We came in to our favorite time to look at crude, at least my favorite, is merry old England. Wow. We had balance. So imbalance to balance, and man, it was balanced in that range until the U.S. opening was interesting. Even before that report, what did we start getting when U.S. opened up?
More buying, more buying. Here's the New York session open. So we have, and Coach Paul loves to look at that London session open here. That is 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Sorry, 3 a.m. Eastern time, 2 a.m. Central time, and then of course we have the New York session open where most of the volume is going to come in for the day, and that is right here at 9 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Central time. If we attach a VWAP to that, Coach Paul, it's something that we do for all of our newer viewers. We are looking at how volume trades around the market. You don't use it, you don't use it. But we have this VWAP from the London session, and as New York opens, Coach Paul, where do we go?
Right
Right to volume.
to, it's just, if we look at that on that break, what happened also, the price went sideways, so did the volume,
Yep.
but VWAP. So with that combination, I mean, it just shows you there was balance there. There was the selling stopped. That maybe that's an easier way to look at it.
Right.
When so when it breaks out of that, we have an opportunity. And boy, when it broke out, was this the 3 minute?
This is the 3 minute. Yeah, and I think the house account may have taken a short. Yeah, we did take a short here. So we take the opening range trade every day. House account took a short off the 5 minute opening range. We broke initially to the downside. And that's just a mechanical trade, right? We're gonna take the trade however it breaks that opening range. But if I look at this and try to add any context to that trade, we had this 30-minute range down here. It was gonna take a little bit for the or maybe a lot. It was gonna take a lot of selling for for us to break through this VWAP. And maybe I'll do a better job tomorrow at letting Hogan JD know, hey guys, we're fighting the fighting volume here. Uh,
Yeah. You're swimming in front of the shark.
Swimming in front of the shark. As the little fish, when that shark turns around, that's it. All of our stops getting taken here. But we did have inventories as well, pushed right back down to that VWAP from the London session afterwards. So nice trade in crude. I haven't traded it much recently. I did take some natural gas trades today, but I have not traded crude much recently at all. Uh, I feel like I just don't have a great read on it, but it is presenting great opportunity. High, crude was up a percent, full percent today, and high to low we had a 2% move. So more than enough opportunity here.
Yeah, nice trade. Anyway, and look, on a half hour we had a double top off those highs, and one of why I looked at that. It's later in the day. We've had this move. Look where it went to the same level where the selling began yesterday. It's almost the same shape. So, and we went there twice in the half hour. Um, and we stalled. So now,
Yep.
once we stall there, and look at we had all that higher lows breaking, and then we break that off the double top and had a nice break. It's over. The buying, can we say the buying stopped? And I think did we have a buying exhaustion up there?
Up at this high here, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Up at this high, pretty high volume, close to the highs of the day on the 30-minute chart. We closed below it. So watch this area going into tomorrow, right? We've already rejected here once. Could this be that second rejection and push us right back down in a range bound market? So I would not be surprised to see crude right back down at the lower 63 level. And anything we talk about here is for educational purposes only, not suggestions or advice to take any trades. We're just trying to provide context here like we do during the opening call as well. But range bound market, the goal is to trade the range until it breaks. And seeing some sellers up here at the 64 level. And we heard the president say he thinks crude is going to be under $60. I think Goldman Sachs also adjusted their price target to $55. What does that mean for us?
I don't know. And that's my mantra.
Yep.
I only
I have
trade in
no
the
idea.
present.
We have no
Here's the
idea.
irony. We trade futures, but our mind has to be in the present. Because when you think you know, at least from my experience, when I was certain, I began to be hurting. It's not, there is no certainty in this. But when you're fluid and you're in the present, you can see things and opportunities, reading the flow of the market. Remember, we're day traders. Whether it goes down to 60 or it goes up to 120, it doesn't. Actually, it can harm you in your mindset because you don't know how it's going to get there.
Yep. I do want to. We did have Nvidia earnings. I saw Jay Woods in the chat says, "Are we covering Nvidia earnings?" Jay Woods, you missed the party. Missed the party. We covered it early.
Party's over. The
Party's
keg is
coming.
dry.
Party's coming to. But still pay your $5 to get in. But we covered it early. Nvidia pretty much in line with expectations for their earnings. I am going to bring up an Nvidia chart again because we are seeing some comments that earnings call is starting soon. Or starting now, actually. I think it's going on now. I'm going to push back over to an Nvidia chart really quick and read some comments that we see coming out here. The U.S. government has not pubbed regulation codifying 15%. Coming from Nvidia, any request for a percentage of revenue may subject us to litigation. U.S. government officials expressed expectation that the USG will receive 15% of revenue generated from licensed NVIDIA H20 sales. But NVIDIA is saying any request for a percentage of revenue may subject us to litigation. H20 revenue declined by about $4 billion. 2 to 5 billion of H20 could be shipped to China. This is coming from NVIDIA right now. But H20 revenue declined by about 4 billion. So something I don't know if we talked about this, Coach Paul. We got a little bit of a trade war going on with China right now. I don't know where we left off with the tariffs, but 15% of the revenue from the China chip going to the U.S. government and sales decrease in China. I am like halfway about to put on my conspiracy theory hat, but it's interesting.
Go ahead, put it on. Here's the tin foil.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And
Right.
It's something we can't control. But yeah, what if China comes up with their own chip?
Right.
We remember what happened about 6 months ago when the AI news came out. So yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised we're going to go to litigation. I thought that was agreed to.
Yeah. Any request for a percentage of revenue may subject to us to litigation.
May.
So yeah, it sounds like that
The
15%
four-letter word.
wasn't really signed off on from what NVIDIA is saying here. Huh. Interesting. Interesting times we're in.
Once again, we don't know.
We have no idea. We have no idea. We are the fish. We are the fish.
Unless someone sent you an email or a text.
Must have went to spam. All right, well, let's wrap here in just a couple minutes here. We got Coach Hoop doing a class in Discord. But for our new viewers, there's something I'd like to ask Coach Paul towards the end of every session. See what he has today. Coach Paul, anything on your scouting report?
Yeah. Let's look at the euro dollar. Start with the daily. It's an
Euro
interesting
currency
day.
futures 6E. Look at the
Yes.
daily. What are we seeing here?
We've had this balance throughout August. We're coming to the end of August. Keep an eye out. We've been playing in this range. It's above the 20-day moving average. We hold it, rally, come back. Today we did the same thing. It's in an uptrend. It kind of looks like gold, doesn't it?
A little bit, and we're seeing gold and maybe the currency futures react to the dollar.
Yeah. So let's keep an eye on that. Look at coming a little closer. Look, we had that wick today on that break. Something's about to go. If we can get back above the 50-day moving average, and we're going to be above the downtrend line, we could have a race to new highs. Looks very similar to gold. Almost the dates are almost the same.
Yep.
But something's going to happen there. And it's been decent trading, believe it or not. So if we look at the half hour, last night in the first half an hour, we left early. You got the right day there, Coach?
The 26th. I was going to the wrong day. I need to. There's a way to turn on like session breaks, so they just put a line at the beginning of every day. I need to put that on.
I'm glad. Your pain is my. I'm glad to hear that, only because I've had that problem. So look at that break early, and it doesn't really. It was so clear. We had urgency.
Urgency,
broke
Coach
down.
Paul, for our new viewers. What are you saying? What's urgent?
Well, the selling came in early, and we look at the half hour. It broke out of the first half an hour's range, and VWAP followed. There are sellers that were very active. They were urgent. They weren't waiting. There was no balance. It's a sign that and remember, a VWAP is a volume weighted average price. Volume.
Right.
So that volume weighted average price kept on trending lower, broke out of the range, and continued. It was a great trade. It continued until the U.S. Open. It was like Europe had picked up steam. So interesting. It's been trading pretty well, but
Yeah, it has
overall,
been.
I think this is going to offer some great opportunity. Watch that daily, that 50 moving average, and we could get some volatility.
Coach Paul, what's this white line up here?
The 200 bar moving average.
Oh, simple moving
what did we
average
go to?
on the 30-minute. We sold off from it last night, where we saw that urgency. So really nice trade, Coach Paul. We were talking in the green room. You did take this trade to the downside, and then what do we get at these lows over here?
Yeah.
High volume at the low. Did we break it? We did, but did the trade survive? Let's see.
Oh, did we get a J trade? It was a J.
We got stopped out. Two ATRs. We got stopped out.
All right.
Happens. Gonna happen.
No.
Same. I might take it again.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? That's a good point. Don't put all your chips in one trade.
Right.
We talk about that. Predefine your risk. Have some. I mean, for new traders here, you if you find out you get blown out quickly, your size is too big. I believe me, I went through that phase, and then like you said, now you don't have any opportunity, or you revert to gambling, which is I got to
Mhm.
get that money back, and you're not measuring anything. You're lost. You go on tilt easily. So if you took that trade and you sized it right, and you got kicked out too. You have enough to try it again. And I'm going to end on that. That's risk management.
Absolutely. For Jay Hufo in the chat, I'm trying to keep up with your messaging. You were asking us to read the chat history. Um, I've read your chat history. I'm trying to piece together your messaging. I see the comments in there. I appreciate the comments. But if we were talking about a trade, I didn't see it. But
Yeah,
if you
there's a
want to
lot
share it,
going on.
yeah, there's a lot going on in the chat. I see a lot of caps and emojis and stuff. Sometimes you could talk through emojis, but we're at the end here.
Okay.
I've done a lot of talking on air today, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. We want to thank everybody for joining us today. Special edition of At the Buzzer. Of course, we had an Nvidia watch party. Hogue, Andre joining us today. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. We got Coach Hoop doing a class in Discord in about 10 minutes. Then, of course, we have Coach Ray and Coach Vince in Discord, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central Time. Dakota with Slow Markets tonight at 7:30 Central. Aaron with the London Open at 1:30 a.m. Central Time. E with the Euro Trade, 3:30 a.m. And we'll be back for the opening call tomorrow on Topstep TV. Again, thank you all for joining us. Trade well, manage your risk, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
Have a good evening. Bye.